That's a battleship salvo coming in. I think he's gonna eat some damage now. Never mind. Let's turn off the burst. We don't want to waste time. And next time we fire it, let's check the reload time on that bad boy. I think I'm gonna fire it now because the battleship's gonna shoot in a second here. Oh, it's 26 seconds, just like the Andalusia. That's nice. It didn't nerf. Oh! Yo! 4 citadels, bro! Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here with the Castilla. Finally, we have been sent the even-tiered ships of the Spanish cruiser tech line. Now, I'm very sorry, guys. I was caught very much off guard. We got, like, I can't say specifically, but we had very little time to prepare for this, and hence I had to sprint home to be able to play this and test this for you guys. And as you can see, she's completely naked. I have not played this yet. And we're gonna be going for a first impressions game, and then after that I'll be hunting for the best possible game I can get with this ship, and then I will give you guys my thoughts. But first, let's upgrade this, and let's take a look at everything she's equipped with, her skills and her stats, because I think that makes sense. Now, we're gonna see what you get here for the ship elite bonus. Interesting, we get a tankiness or guns. I feel like the guns are gonna be turning pretty slowly. Where do we see that? That's here, 7 degrees a second. That's not a lot. I think I'm gonna start out with that to see how the turret traverse feels, and then we're gonna see how the tankiness is, and if we're gonna have to switch to this. So advanced turret right there, boom. Camo, we have the Sand Dragon, which seems to give you actually different skills than the tier 9. I don't believe you had double these, but anyways. Here we have the historical camo. I'm obviously going to go with this because it gives you dispersion, and I don't mind that because I think this is one of the most boring camos. Sorry, Spain. I love Spain, but yeah, again, I'm not a fan of these camos that don't really contribute anything other than a big target that you can hit it. You know, if you aim for this, you're going to get citadels pretty much. That's what Hiromi told me. So we're going to take this. Battle honors, let's take a look at that. People probably are interested in what these say. So you got to get 50 citadels. I think that's going to be easier with the tier 10. I've been told by Red that this thing is better at penning stuff. 40 cruisers, 1.8 million damage, and wait, so the last mission is cost citadel 4 times in a battle. That's interesting. Very easy mission right here, I think. Moving on. Let's take a look at her stats and see what she can take a punishment. So she got 9% damage reduction. Let's take a look at something like a Howden Leo. How does a Howden Leo stack up with damage reduction? This is without any buffs. Let's see. Yeah, she has 10.5, so we're actually kind of less tanky than a Howden Leo. This is fully equipped though. But I'm just kind of looking to see what kind of differences we have. We have 254mm guns that reload in 12 seconds, so on par with Petro reload, actually better than normal Petro reload. 13km range, 10% fire chains. Okay, it's less actually than, no wait, it's more than Asturias. Let me, no, not Andalusia, that's what it's called. Let's see, what's the fire chains here? Because I remember the HE being bad. Okay, only, it's 1% better, but maybe this is going to be okay to use HE. I'm going to have to test that. It does not look like it's going to do much damage though. 200 citadel damage rate, and we're up to 8.40 with the battle honor. That gives you main battery traverse. So far this looks pretty much just like a tier 10 version of the Andalusia. We have 5 torpedoes on each side. They go just under 10 kilometers, pretty decent. AA is not looking too great. It looks pretty mid, to be honest, and a 10km concealment distance. So let's equip this bad boy and let's get her into battle. I'm obviously going to put the legendary commander on this because I was blessed to get him on my main account also. So I'm going to be playing this like I was playing it on my main. And this is the setup I'm going to go with, guys. This is the exact same setup I went for the Andalusia. And we're just going to put her straight, or put him straight over there. Alvaro Cortez, pretty controversial commander, but let's not talk about that. Let's see her skills. That's the last thing. She gets Sonar 2, 3 uses, Defensive Fire 2, and the same with Spotting Plane 2, 3 uses everything, and a Burst Fire. Well, that seems pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna hop straight in, see what happens, man. Okay, I'm pretty excited. We actually got some players, but only 3. So this is my first game, guys. My very first game. And it's gonna be with bots. Because this is the, you know, the idea of first impressions. I'm just gonna see how the ship feels, and then I'm gonna go hunt for, you know, a good game with actual players. See if I can get some high damage numbers, and of course give you guys my thoughts on this. So we got Cage, and I mean, we have more range than the Andalusia. And already I can see that I'm gonna like that. You can see the range already here. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn on my buttons so I can see what I'm doing. Excuse me, guys. I forgot to do that after the intro. So, I'm guessing we just kind of hang back here and use our spotting plane. And, I mean, I wouldn't mind the CV if he struck us. I mean, it's going to be annoying, but I kind of want to test the AA. So, we're going to wait until the actual strike planes are here. Looks like they're coming. He's going straight for the Castilla, baby. Yep, he's going straight for us. I mean, that hurt quite a bit, actually. We're gonna hold our damage control because he's out there. Definitely be coming our way. Get the first shots out. I like the dispersion. That looks pretty good, actually. Just my aim that sucks. What can we do with this guy out here, the Ruprecht? I mean, we're in range of him, so there's no real reason to use the spotting plane here. We get a heal going. Okay, and we didn't hit anything. I mean, already you could see that the increase in caliber, we went up quite a bit from the Andalusia. Definitely helps with penetration. See, we're getting no bounces, full pens and half pens. I mean, this is already an improvement in my book. Now, I do want to see some real players, but I guess we're gonna have to go hunting for them. We see a Marseille here. Marseille could be interesting. Let's go out and hunt this guy. I want to test the burst fire. Let's see how this feels. We have APCS. Marseille's probably going to be broadside. And then we have the torps to finish him off if we need to. Let's take our first shots here. And then we got to go to the burst, baby. Alright, let's swap to burst. Boom. Burst is on. Let's see how this does. Oh! Oh! Okay. Remember, guys, the torps weren't hitting. They didn't hit yet. We, that was pure gunpowder. I think, yeah, ooh. Okay, don't get too excited yet, Bob. It's... Oh, I didn't see the reload on the burst. I need to see that the next time we fire it. But I could see this being powerful in the right hands. Definitely being powerful. Let's see if we can use the burst fire on this Colombo here. Maybe the Trump wants to have some fun. I mean, we gotta remember we have a higher caliber than before, so... We could definitely, I think, overpen DDs a lot easier than the other ships, the Andalusia. Oh, but I mean, at this distance, we're good. We are definitely good. I think... No, he's not AFK. Let's go for a... we're out of range? Really? We only get... Okay, we get 2 kilometers. It's pretty good, but still. I think I was expecting a little bit more. Oh, there's a CV. Oh, let's try the thing on the CV here. I mean, let's see how it does. Let's see how it does. I would say that's pretty decent. I mean, of course, you shouldn't use this as your first shot. Obviously, you should always wait until they're low enough that you can finish them off. But that's almost half his HP. I think that's pretty decent, to be honest. Let's see what we can do about this guy. I mean, I guess I have to go for him. He's reversing, so let's go for a little bit of a leading shot here. And then I think I'm going to try to finish him off with the burst. Oh, he's healing. Okay. That's a battleship salvo coming in. I think he's going to eat some damage now. Never mind. Let's turn off the burst. We don't want to waste time. And next time we fire it, let's check the reload time on that bad boy. I think I'm going to fire it now because the battleship's going to shoot in a second here. Oh, it's 26 seconds, just like the Andalusia. That's nice. It didn't nerf. Oh! Yo! 4 citadels, bro! Dude, yo, okay, Castilla, you you have showed me that this was worth waiting for. I might be inclined to say that this thing could be decent. First impressions at least are good. See how we do on a Columbo at this distance, very far away. We hit some shells. I think I'm gonna try the burst here, just because he's so far away that... Let's try that. See what we do to Mr. Belarus here. If I had aimed a little better, that would have killed him for sure. These guns do damage, guys. They actually do damage. It feels much better than the Andalusia for sure. Now, how this stacks up to everything else in the game, I have yet to, you know, give you guys an answer. But I will say this: it feels much better than the tier 9. Much better. Let's see if we can blind fire this guy. Oh, imagine. Would have been glorious. Haven't really used our torpedoes this game. Oh, here he is.
Enemy aircraft incoming.
I think that could actually nick him. Come on, no, he turned the last second, dude. Oh, could have been good. Could have been good, baby. Well, I think this game is over, guys. I'm gonna, you know, if I kill the Trump, I'm gonna cut to it. But if not, we're gonna get to another game. But yeah, he's dead. There we go. GG. So, first impressions, it feels a lot like the Andalusia. Play-wise, it's basically the same. Nothing's changed, except you have more range and your guns definitely do more damage. I think that Citadel on the midway kind of spoke for itself. But I mean, that's my first impression, guys. I'm not gonna go play this and play a ton of games just to try to get, you know, the feel of the ship. And I'm gonna give you guys a, you know, then post-commentated game of the best one I find. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. So guys, you saw in the intro clip that maybe the first impressions, they were good. I will say that. My first game was fun. It felt like all the, you know, deficiencies of the tier 9 were kind of ironed out here. But I have to be completely honest, and I've been waiting for this thing to come out to give an honest opinion. Because it's kind of hard to judge a tech tree line when you don't have the, you know, the final tier, the tier 10. But this thing feels a lot like the tier 9. It lacks a lot of pen, it feels less tanky than it should. And it doesn't feel like when you use your burst, it actually is worth it. I did have some great salvos, and the final game you're going to see is the best game I had. And I think it also showcases the best scenario you will find you can find yourself in this ship. This thing likes to hang back. You kind of need a team to rely on. This thing is not the playmaker. If you're lucky enough and somebody's seeing broadside, which we will see some of that here in these clips. People showing broadside and me using scouting plane plus the burst to take them out. But the inconsistency is insane. I have too many times been shooting at, let's say, the Minotaur, for example, who's shooting at us right now, and not killed them. Gotten half pens and the weirdest type of shell characteristics were happening. I didn't quite understand how a ship with the 254mm caliber gun was having trouble penetrating targets, especially DDs, man. I have not been able to find the sweet spot of where you hit a DD. That's what you're going to be seeing here. I'm going to be trying to kill this Venom here, but it is absolutely impossible for me. You do 260 damage when you use AP. So obviously, you got to use HE for those close distance shots. The dispersion is quite nice on these ships, but as you can see, that doesn't really do you anything when you're doing 260 damage to a Venom. 6 kilometer range is definitely closer territory, and you know, most cruisers will overpen here. But even at longer distances, I found at 8 and 9 kilometers, I was, you know, half penning, overpenning DDs. And when I was using HE, it wasn't really worth it. It didn't, you know, do the damage I was hoping for. I look back at this Napoli and I was like thinking, dude, I wish I was a Napoli right now. I have quite a few clips and I want this video to be thorough because you guys need to make a decision whether or not you want to grind this line. I hope to be able to enlighten you guys to see, okay, is this worth it or not? I will obviously grind this because I love cruisers, and even though this thing is super challenging and very frustrating to play at times, I mean, it feels like a Petro when it came out. It feels like many of the cruisers we have when they come out. I can almost guarantee you guys that we're going to see buffs to these ships. If not, they're going to completely fall into obscurity because currently they're not doing good. This right here is the perfect showcase of what Castilla can do. We used our spotting plane and we fired at that kidder. And at these distances, the AP smacks, as you can see. This is where I found its niche to be. Its niche is like a sniper, man. This is like you're Agent 47, not Slide 40. You're Slide 47, man. And you're really good at taking out targets of opportunity. But as soon as you open up, get closer, and play aggressive, you are just punished dearly. St. Vincent will absolutely annihilate you. I found Alsace annihilated me. I never really found that I could actually go up and fight battleships like I was hoping to do. You can definitely do that in the tier 7, and you can definitely also get away with it somewhat in the tier 9 if you get into tier 8 fight. But up here at the higher tiers, where you kind of expect these caliber of guns, and remember guys, I'm using the legendary commander. I'm using APCS, and we should have the best penetration values possible. Now it could be, honestly, that this ship is better without APCS if you're going to be fighting DDs and cruisers, but it just doesn't really work. You know, that's counter logical. It doesn't really make sense. Again, here you see a DD at very close range. He is actually kind of angled to us, so the shell is going to go down his hull, and we get a half pin and a full pin. So you can definitely see the inconsistency. Now this clip right here, we have this Shimakaze, and I was trying my best to deal with him, because I felt like I wasn't cut out to deal with a Montana like this. We have torpedoes, which definitely help, but they're not the most powerful torpedoes. They don't do a lot of damage compared to others. They have good range and all that, but if not for the Shimakaze, it would have taken me a long time to deal with that Montana. So we go for the Shima here. We're clear to do that. We hit 3 shells, 1 non-pin, 1 half pin, and a full pin. This is at 7.5 kilometers, guys, at a full broadside Shimakaze. We have good dispersion. You can see that. Mostly half pins. This is at over 7 kilometers now, and I am at this point I felt like, okay, there's something wrong here. This should not happen. And I know I was very optimistic at the beginning, but I didn't want to, you know, judge this ship before we saw the whole line. And now I can go full ham on this, and I'll be completely honest and tell you guys what I think. And I think it's wrong that you don't deal any damage to DDs. This is what I had my biggest issue with. It was actually the fact that the one job a cruiser has, killing DDs, it was not very good at. Not at all, actually. Then you think, well, what about battleships? Yes, it is certainly good at that if you're kiting away like I am right now, and you are fighting something like a Schlieffen or Alsace or Republic. It can deal with those ships. But once we're talking about even Columbos, man, I had hard times with Columbos. Sometimes I would just get all half pins, hitting straight down the deck, pretty decent range, still do no damage. I also find that the dispersion can be really good sometimes, and I am running dispersion mod here, plus the camo gives us better dispersion. It just feels funky, man. It is sometimes like a Stalingrad, and other times it's like a Gneisenau in dispersion. And keep in mind, I played a lot of games, guys, and my win rate was super low. I think I averaged around a 50-60% win rate in this. So, off the bat, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is a tough one to play. And it's sad to see that we don't really get any good cruisers nowadays. We did get the San Martin, but it's not very often that a cruiser comes out and is actually decent. And it's the same case here with Castilla. You can see how hard it is for me to deal with that Venezia. Bro just turned instantly and we missed all our shells. But yeah, that's that clip. Let's get on to the next one. So here we are with this Colombo clip I was talking about. We have this guy full broadside and we're about 12 kilometers out. This is close to our max range without the spotting plane. And again, we see these very subpar penetrations. We get 2 full pens, we get a half pen and a non-pen. We're gonna try again here. I really want to, you know, rack up some damage. I have not had many games with high damage. The highest damage I got was 105k. And that's the game you're gonna see, because that's where I was playing against cruisers who were pushing. And that's what this thing is really good at. That's like, that's its niche. Sniping people and destroying cruisers that are pushing. Something like Henry's, Nevsky's, you know, ships that are kind of squishy, but also can deal a lot of damage. Trust me, you will take damage from something like a Henry. These things are not very tanky. And I even tried with the damage reduction elite bonus. It did not do anything. It didn't feel like it did anything. So I opted to go for the turret traverse instead. The gameplay you're seeing here is with the damage reduction. So you're gonna see me go toe-to-toe with the St. Vincent at very, very close distance. And you're gonna see what type of damage that does. And I think it's very good to take St. Vincent as an example, because that's one of the most dangerous battleships you can face. And it gets wrecked by it. Again, you saw another salvo there, completely non-penning this Colombo. And we get some good hits here, but notice the majority of those shots are half pens. It's a Colombo. Colombo is not that tanky. I would understand it if I was shooting at a GK or a Vermont or Montana, but this should be something we could penetrate. Conquerors, Republics, Colombos, Thunderers, stuff like that. So here we have HE loaded. This Harugumo is going to come close. I have to finish off the Colombo here, and I'm going to swap to my burst, send out some torps, and just hope that this Harugumo is out of torpedoes. It looks like he is, since he's firing all guns. And we're going to activate the burst, shoot at the Harugumo, notice its HP. That's not good enough. That is actually not good enough, if you ask me. We hit 16 shells on my guy, and yes, he lost a lot of his HP. But this is what the burst should be able to do. If I can't use AP on a Harugumo like that, then when I swap to HE, it should definitely do something. Excuse me, guys, that was my stomach. I'm a little bit hungry. So we're going to be going along here, and I'm going to skip so you guys, so we can see the St. Vincent fight. So we're about to fight this Napoli here, and keep in mind, guys, Napoli is the exact same hull, or very close at least, to this ship. So we kind of can compare it to that, and Napoli guns feel infinitely better than this. When you shoot a DD with Napoli guns at almost any distance, you will get a lot of full pens. If you shoot them at longer distance, you're going to absolutely wreck them. And along with that, you know, Napoli also has working secondaries. I am very, very disappointed to see them not give this ship secondaries. I don't mean auto secondaries, no. I just mean manual secondaries that you can see are actually on the ship. This thing would actually benefit quite a bit from that, because if you're gonna give it such a shitty pen on its AP and lackluster HE, well then it better, you know, have some kind of defense for close range. If you're fighting a battleship, you fired your burst, and oh shit, I got so many half pens. I got 18 half pens. It would be kind of nice to just have some HE secondaries. But yeah. Again, there's potential for this ship. I think there's definitely a lot of potential, but like many other cruisers, guys, we gotta wait. We just gotta wait for Wargaming to realize that this thing is just not worth it at at its current state. But here he is, big old St. Vincent. We're about to face him. Notice our HP, 34,000. It's quite a bit, and he's gonna absolutely devastate us. Look how much damage we take here. We take over 20,000, guys. Yes, we do kill him, but for a ship that supposedly has the same, you know, hull as a Napoli, definitely doesn't feel like it. So, we are playing the game where I got the most damage. It's a CV match. We're playing versus a ton of cruisers, as you can see, so I was very excited, and I mean, my excitement was warranted, because this thing is good against cruisers, and that's what it really shines at. Along with the sniping, this thing absolutely devastates pushing cruisers, and that's what we're going to be fighting here. Knuckles is going to be barreling down towards our base in his Henry, and I'll take full advantage of it. There's also a Yodo, there's a Sao, and a Slava, so along with some bots and a CV. So the Slava is something we're going to be fighting as well, and yeah, it doesn't look good, guys. It does not look good. Somehow Slava was super tanky, and I didn't feel like I was actually doing any meaningful damage to him. So what you're seeing me do here is just kind of wait. There's no reason for me to push up. You have 15-kilometer range with your spotting plane, and you have 3 of them. So the way I played it is I took it real easy in the beginning and just waited to see what was on the horizon. Anything that was cruiser to battleship size, I would try to go for. If there was a good shot in a DD, go for it. The main objective here is that you need to stay healthy for the remainder of the game, for as long as you can, because this thing needs to rely on its team. If you are the one who needs to push, you will get killed very quickly. You don't have smoke, you don't have speed boost, you have only a sonar and defensive fire to help you. Now there we see an actual good salvo. Good dispersion, but notice the distance. We're at 7.5, just like we were with that Shima. It's such an inconsistent salvo. Like, sometimes you absolutely devastate destroyers, other times you don't. When I'm playing my Hindenburg or my Nevsky, if I hit a DD, you know, in the range where I know the AP will arm, I see good damage. With this thing, it's like it's hit or miss, man. It's super random. And this clip right here, you see that's a normal salvo on the Yodo, normal salvo. Here's a sow, beached on an island, shooting full broadside into his midships, and we get all half-pens. I don't think I need to stress the inconsistency here. So yeah, it's definitely in need of some help, and I'm gonna have to play this a lot more to really figure out what can this thing do. So right now we got Knuckles and his Henry here. What up, Knuckles? Good to see you. Barreling down towards me. This is a good target for Castilla. This is a very good target for us, and as soon as he gives a little broadside, we're gonna get some citadels here. But you can't always rely on people to do this. Ideally, this is a pretty stupid idea. Thank you for trying though, Knuckles. I mean, it's not very smart to push in a Henry like this when there's not been any meaningful ships taken out. So, you know, I'm lucky for getting this, but this is not going to happen every game. There's also going to be games where you're going to be fighting a lot of destroyers. I know NA players know all about that. It might sound a little bit weird, but I actually see this thing being better on EU because there's just a lot more battleships and long-range sniping than on NA, because NA is a very, very aggressive, and the playstyle you guys have is way more maneuverable heavy, which I personally enjoy. But that Castilla cannot deal with. I mean, Castilla is best kiting away with the spotter plane, firing at battleships and cruisers. And this is what I mean. Look at this, kiting away, using the burst. Goodbye, Henry. That is a beautiful salvo. That's what you hope for when you use it. And that's how it also should be used, as a finishing move. And let's say that there was two other targets that were shooting at me right now. Currently, the Slava's behind an island, Sau's behind an island. That's why I chose to use the burst. It's safe for me to sit here and wait 26 seconds for my next shot. And that's going to be on the Slava here. So you would imagine that a Slava would be minced meat, right? Well, yes and no. You could definitely deal damage to Slava, but it sometimes is also just really whack and lackluster. Here we're going to try the burst on the Yodo. I think I missed a little bit here, but you know, it's a worth chance to take. It's a good opportunity. And we get 7 hits. I'm pretty sure if 3 of those that were overpens, or non-pens, or what, half pens, whatever you want to fucking call them, I'm pretty sure if they were all full pens, that Yoda was dead. And I think that's what it should be. It should be cruisers and stuff like that at longer distances should have full pens. But yeah, maybe that's just me. I will sit here and be completely honest and say, yes, I was wrong about giving these ships a chance. The other CCs were definitely correct in saying that these things were underpowered. But like I said before, I wanted to give this, you know, the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the tier 10 was good. And as it stands right now, no, it's not good. So, there it is, guys. It's not really that great. It's honestly very sad because I think this type of ship is really cool. We're missing some, you know, old school artillery ships, and this thing is new and interesting because of the burst. You can see how much we're suffering from this Slava here. We have a faster reload than him. We can even do a burst fire. Yet, you know, 1 or 2 salvos from this guy and I'm done. I'm forced to retreat here. Now I'm using my AA so you guys can see what we do to an, I think it's an Essex we're fighting. You can see the small caliber AA range is quite shit. Right now, we were just using our large caliber AA, but as soon as the small one kicks in, it does shoot down planes with the DFA. The problem is the distance. It's really got very short range small caliber AA, which is what does the damage, guys. So yeah, don't get too excited. It is better than the lower tiers. You definitely can shoot down planes, but if you know what Howden Leo AA is like, it's kind of like Howden Leo AA, just maybe 40% worse, I would say. It's pretty bad. So here we go, Slava, close distance. I was hoping to use 1 salvo first, but he did so much damage to me, I couldn't even do anything. Kills me with the secondaries. I was hoping to get the burst off, but no. So yeah, that is my best game, 105,000 damage, and you kind of see what this thing can be good at. Alright, well, here we are, guys, and that was this video, and my first impressions of this ship. We would certainly say my first game was more fun than the rest of them. I think this ship has a lot of potential, the whole line does in general, but I'm thoroughly disappointed to see that it's... I mean, the only fun run is the tier 7. I haven't tried the tier 8 though. Could be it's good. But the tier 9 and the tier 10 are just kind of lackluster. But there is potential. I think they need to buff the penetration quite a bit. And they also need to make it a little bit more tanky, because to get these, you know, high damage numbers, to get into a situation where you can actually get the most out of your penetration, you have to get really close. And one salvo from a St. Vincent at full HP, man, you're gone. So that is my review of this ship. I'm going to keep playing this a lot more. I'm going to grind it on my main account whenever they come out, and I'm going to try my best to make this work, because that's my mission. I want to make every ship somewhat playable. So I'm going to tinker, I'm going to get into the you know, the garage, get the equipment, try different equipment, stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. My name has been Bobloon, aka Pabloon, and I'm signing out.